Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Monday the 6th of April. So looking, before we look at the actual technicals, let's just look at the fundamentals today. Well, there aren't any significant fundamentals due out today. We have the Reserve Bank of Australia rate statement and it's already out, so there's nothing to report back on there. That leaves us, I'm just checking on the RBA there, everything was left, the only thing that's noted there, Reserve Banks to later in the year consider whether to retain the April 2024 bond as the target bond or to shift to the next maturity. Okay, so nothing of significance there. Right, okay, on that note, looking at the technicals, and we're seeing I'm just looking at the euro dollar. I talked about this last week. I did a little update on Friday, my Friday live trading, which obviously wasn't live trading because there was nothing to trade. But looking at Friday's and last week's data, we ended up with a hammer there into the weekly 50. Now, I don't know how far this is going to go, but I am long on the euro at the moment. I've got a position there. The targets I was originally looking for was the likes of the the weekly. I'm looking at daily now, daily chart, but I'm looking at the monthly pivots actually. Looking at the monthly pivot, looking at the sort of return back into its mean. This area here could provide some resistance. We'll see what happens. I'll probably leave a part open. If it breaks through this, I'll just leave part of the position open and see what happens, but that will be certainly first targets there. So we'll be watching that, and I mean it's certainly a hittable in the next day or so. Aside of that, well, looking at the euro, it's managing at the moment to continue putting these higher lows in. You can see this key one here. We had this little lower high come through here, but then it's completely reversed yesterday, giving us another higher low. And at the moment, it does look like there's the potential, at least, for further upside. There's no more to mention on that for now. So that's where we're sitting on that. That's the euro. Looking at the potential this morning of maybe well, let's just see what happens here this morning. Actually, just sort of coming down the time frame one more step here and sort of noting the price action here. There was a bit of divergence over the highs. We've seen a bit of reaction maybe to that. We have got the daily pivot below, so well, if you were looking to jump on board on the long side, just be wary. It could have at least a momentary retracement, and well, that could go beyond that. I mean, the daily pivot might be a target, but it may go beyond that. So just if you're looking for the long side, wait for a decent retracement. Okay, that's the euro. The pound. So looking at the pound, I'm just going to come out because it is the beginning of the week technically. Weekly wise, we're sort of done pretty well. A couple of hammers in a row there. It's pushed up again, started this week off quite well. Higher low through, you can see quite clearly on the dailies last week. Well, actually it's really triggered this week properly, pushing up. It's above its monthly pivot there, looking quite strong. However, looking quite strong, and again it's put the higher lows through on the 4 hourlies here, and it's just again got a bit of softness. They had the divergence across the highs there. Okay, possibly worked off, but it's now selling back to its daily pivot here, and quite a strong old bar at the moment at least. So with volumes coming back into the markets today, it may be more significant what happens today rather than what happened on Friday and Monday. So we've just got to watch this carefully, but the volumes certainly have come in at the moment, and the downside is just being attacked. But again, it may be that we just see a sort of a bigger correction through to maybe at 60-minute 50, or maybe even down to its S1, back into there's support there with the prior highs around that sort of area. Okay, dollar yen. In other words, don't just try and jump onto these sort of what looks like long positions immediately. Let's just see if they do find some support and turn around. Dollar yen then. Well, the yen has been selling right the way through, and it's continued, and so the dollar continuing its show up and well, last few days it's not done quite so much. Consolidation around those highs, lower highs, and a bit of strength maybe coming back to the end momentarily at least, but again, we've seen the softening in the pound and the euro and the equivalents here, because this is dollar yen, so it's dollar getting stronger against the yen here. So, well, this may also push up a little bit further. Just looking through. Yep, that's where we are sitting at the moment, but that could continue anyway. It's almost like a separate element of what's going on in this day and age, because of the unwinding of some of these positions into the yen, as the economies look to gain and do better. Aussie dollar. The Aussie dollar yesterday, good solid move up there, very low volume, so you've got to take this into account, just coming short of its monthly pivot. It's with the lower highs coming through here, it does look a little bit soft, and okay, yesterday it managed through and it's put this higher low in on the short term after putting an absolute low in, but 1st of April there we managed to put a bottom in for now, and it's sort of from that it's trying its best. We just watch this again, it just could have a bit more of a correction. We just through the daily pivot, and I'm just sort of looking at this again, divergence over the highs there, and then a bit of another shove up which isn't holding on. Maybe we'll see a bit more of a corrective sort of stage today with some of these markets. It's there through all the majors to watch for, and it's whether or not they can actually gain some traction. It may be that we've seen it on all the majors here, and they're going to turn and soften, so just be aware of that. But maybe stops in the right place of those longs, but see how it goes. Canadian dollar again, well, it's a good solid day yesterday. It's been one of the strongest pairs in the over the longer term. Lower highs, lower lows through on these 4 hourlies again, but again it's just showing this shove up at the moment, and well, again, well, I didn't do a divergence on the lows here. I never got down low enough to do the divergence, so never was strong enough to give a divergence at the bottom in the first place. But it has put a higher low in on this as well. So the Canadian dollar just again softening up against the US dollar here, which is pushing ahead at the moment. I'm just going to have a quick look across the 10-year notes and see what's going on there at the moment. Well, not a lot actually, quite steady today at this stage, sitting at 1.69 at the moment, but they have over the last week or so been considerably higher at times, so just fallen back into yesterday, and as I say, looking lower at the moment. Now I'm sort of watching them. If they start pushing up quite hard, that would suggest again we could see a stronger dollar, of course. Okay, the Canadian dollar there, let's have a look through S&Ps. So light trading volumes, but wow, have we seen it push up there on Friday? And I mean, it's just a euphoria of running through, by looks of things, through that 4,000 marker, and then pushing on the S&Ps, and well, looking soft. Bit of a pullback at the moment. Maybe we'll see a bit more correction. Again, we've got a divergence, same old over the hourlies. Look, a divergence, a bit of a retrace at the moment. The S&Ps is just pushed up and pushed up. I don't see at the moment a reason to really be selling them in the bigger picture. Moving over to gold, and well, gold also, I mean, last week I mentioned this, the double bottom. It's reacted pretty well off that. It's not broken out of a significant trend or anything at this stage, but it is looking a little bit more bullish, or was looking. Hasn't managed a divergence, so it's managed pretty much a double top here, but trying to hold on as we look into this market at this stage. So trying its big bearish reversal sort of bar there at the moment, but we'll see how much of that is triggered and whether it pulls back to the sort of weekly pivot, etc., that's sitting below. Excuse me. Okay, that's gold. Oil's been dithering, having a bit of a bounce back. It's still in this consolidated phase here, and well, it may just stay in there for a while. I still although I'm short on this, I was still wondering whether we would see a break of these prior highs and a bit more of a surge after all this. It has effectively triple bottomed even across these lows. So every time it's getting around to this sort of 57.50 mark, it seems to be a bit of a marker for it at this stage. Aside of that, let's just have a quick look then at Bitcoin. I'm just looking at the futures Bitcoin here, of course, so it's susceptible to a bit more gappy price action, but really not much happening there by the looks of things. Just having a look. Yep, cash. I was just looking at the cash market as well. Not a significant amount happening. It's consolidating around the highs, which would suggest it may push up high. Ethereum. Likewise, it's pushing up to its highs, and Ripple is the other currency. Now that took a surge yesterday. Took a surge up there yesterday. I assume that must be on news of the court action that was going across there. But it certainly looks. I mean, it's nearly 30% gain yesterday. There we are. Okay, so there we are. That's the markets from me today. I wish you a great day, and I will catch you in the morning. Bye for now.